What's the difference between an ADHD coach and, say, a psychologist? This is a question that I get asked quite a lot, fairly understandably, I suppose, as an ADHD coach. And so, of course, I've given it a fair bit of thought. I've talked in other videos, other aspects of this, and today the thing that I want to point out, which I find is a thing that I really enjoy about my job. And that is sympathy is not a service I provide. For example, people would probably generally expect if you go and see a psychologist or a counselor that if you say, hey, here's this thing that's happening to me, it's really awful, it's really bothering me, and it's really unfair and making me really miserable. A lot of people would expect that from a professional like that, they would say, that is hard. And they would empathize and provide that sympathetic, just the sympathy and the understanding, which for many people is helpful and healing, and it is genuinely nice to feel like your suffering is real and validated and understood. That alone can be very therapeutic for people, and I don't want to say it isn't. But it's not a service that I provide. I don't do that. If people come to me and they say, this happened and this, and oh, it's so bad, and oh, you can't believe that this happened, I'll go, I don't care. What are you going to do about it? And I love that I get to say that. And I love watching people's faces. And I love how it shocks them, because it's not conventional. It's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do what they would expect a therapist to do. I'm supposed to do what all of their friends and family do. I'm supposed to do what they do when their friends tell them about a terrible, sad, bad thing that happened to them. I'm supposed to do the human behavior of, oh, and I don't. Because that's not my job. My job is here to empower and show people that they already know and they already have the tools that they need inside them to overcome this, to remind them of how strong and powerful and capable they actually are. And of course, if they need some help and they need some more tools or whatever, of course I'll provide that. But everything that I do is along the lines or is in the veins of helping people realize how powerful they already are. And I can't do that if what I'm doing is talking about how bad the thing is and how insurmountable it is. And yeah, that is so hard for you because you're so weak and puny. Oh, not interested, not doing it. And so I kind of like the language from before. Sympathy is not a service that I provide. And when people come to me, they're expecting that, and instead they don't get that. They don't get the shoulder to cry on. They have to go, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, I can do something about it. All right, let's make a plan, let's get on. That's much more helpful. But it's not what everyone's looking for. Some people need to be validated in their suffering. That's what many people are expecting, and that gives them that temporary relief of, even though things are so bad and miserable, at least they're understood, and that makes people feel good about themselves. Well, everything's so bad for me, but someone understands me at least. That's why I'm sure that you know at least one person in your life, and maybe it's you, who is constantly telling everyone around them all of the terrible things that are happening to them. And the reason that they continue to do that, and in fact, arguably, on a deep subconscious level, the reason that they continue to create so much misfortune in their lives is because they're getting so much out of it. They're getting so much attention and validation and feelings of empathy and this connection. And yeah, that is hard for you. And when you say something like that to someone, when you look at someone and you say, that would be so difficult, and then you get to go, yeah, it is, but I'm managing. That feels like your self-esteem. You're like, yeah, I matter. Or you feel real in that moment to that person. And when we can't get admiration or genuine respect because we've earned it, then we will settle for the crumbs of just acknowledgement. And a great way to get acknowledgement that we exist in the minds of other people is to express some misfortune so they can go, oh, and that makes us feel like, they see me, yeah. And so often people go out and they create more suffering because that's one of the only ways that they can get attention. Again, I'm not playing that game. So if you come to me with problems and issues and you just want to talk about how bad they are, I'm sure as hell not going to give you what that part of you wants, which is the validation. I will not help you identify further with being a victim. Not on my watch. And that is one of the things that, whether it separates coaches from other therapists, or frankly, maybe it's just my approach. I can think of quite a lot of coaches that probably, I don't even really know what they do, but they probably aren't, they have a different approach than me. Maybe I'll just say that. Anyway. The real point of this video was not to just talk about myself and what makes me different. The point was to tell you a core useful thing about how you may now change the way that you perceive any suffering in your life and the response that you may have to it. As in now, I hope that you, instead of looking for the sympathy and the building up your ego through the attachment to how bad things are, I hope now you go, yeah, that's happening, and so what? I'm strong, I can beat this. That would be an incredible outcome for me. And there's someone in your life who's doing the annoying lame behavior, whatever, actually, we shouldn't judge them. Maybe they need the validation and support. Maybe that's what they've got, anyway. We shouldn't judge them, but there's someone in your life and they're constantly going through the hardships and they're looking for that response from you. Maybe now you won't feel as obligated to provide it. Maybe now you may able to be a better friend to this person by challenging them and saying, hey, sort out your shit. You can do this. And maybe not, because maybe that's not what they want to hear. But how you use this information is up to you. And if you've made it this far in this video, clearly something is resonating, and thank you, genuinely and truly for your time. Appreciate it. We're now at the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, hit like and hit subscribe, because I make a new video every single day. And while my production value and whatever may not be that high, a lot of what I talk about, I believe, is useful to you, and I share it earnestly with the intention that it will help you in some way, shape, or form. And if that's the case, then I look forward to sharing with you whatever I have to say tomorrow, which I am hoping will be equally, if not more, impactful. So thank you for your time. Like, subscribe, even comment if you want to share anything about your experience here. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you in the next